Our absolute favorite method for brewing coffee to get the cleanest, brightest cup is the pour over. We're going to be using the St. Anthony's C70 pour over. We've got a coffee timer and scale set up. That's not completely necessary so long as you pre-measure your coffee and you know how much water you're going to use. Essentially, a good ratio is going to be 30 grams of ground coffee to roughly 18 ounces of hot water. It helps to preheat the carafe that you're going to be brewing into, as well as your pour over cup and the cup that you're going to be drinking from. That way you don't cold shock the coffee and brew hot coffee and then it ends up being room temperature and won't taste as good. Start with your perfect paper filter from St. Anthony's. I have ground 30 grams of our Colombian. And you want to make sure that it's nice and flat, so level out the coffee. That way you get a better surface area grab in the beginning. You can zero out your scale. Again, it's not necessary to measure this. If you don't have a scale or a timer, you can eyeball this for sure. 18 ounces of water to 30 grams of coffee. So I've got my hot water. The first thing that I want to do, rather than brewing all the way through, is we want to create a bloom of the grounds. So we're going to just saturate the grounds until you start to see a little bit of flow. And now we're going to wait about 30 seconds. If you have a timer, go ahead and start your timer. If you do not have a timer, just count in your head 30 seconds. Okay, now that our coffee has bloomed, we're ready to start the brewing process. Simply pour the hot water right over the grounds, and you're gonna see it start working its way through the filter. You wanna do a nice, even, circular motion. You want your 18 ounces of coffee to roughly take you between 3.5 and 4 minutes to get through. You can always adjust your grind setting if you find that it's brewing too fast or brewing too slow. You don't want to under extract or over extract the coffee. So if all things are the same, meaning the weight of your coffee and the amount of water you're using, just play around with the grind. Do a little coarser, do a little finer, and that'll change that timing and get you the perfect clean cup of coffee. So just keep a continually tall level inside the brewer. Keep it right at about the top. You don't want it to crest over, that way you make a big mess. This may seem elaborate, but it's pretty easy after a couple of times of trying it. You may never go back to. This may seem elaborate, but it's pretty easy after a couple of times of trying it. You may never go back to your previous brewing methods because this is the absolute cleanest cup of coffee you'll have. So I've reached the 18 ounces of water. I'm just going to let that brewing finish. And at that point, we're going to put the cap on our carafe and pour our coffee. Okay, now that our coffee is fully brewed, we're going to set this aside. Put the lid on our carafe. At this point, you're going to want to dump the water that's been preheating your mug. If you're a half and half or nut milk person, it'd be time to add that now prior to adding your coffee. Just pour. And enjoy. That's what's up. So again, we did our pour over brewing with the St. Anthony's C70, which is available on our website. When buying the C70 brewer, make sure you get the P70 perfect filters. There's no need to pre-wet these. These are the best paper filters I've ever used. They're also available on our website, hawthornehillcoffee.com.